So what actually is Sage and Thyme?
Well, it's basically a mnemonic for the Sage and Time model, and it's to help you, I suppose, give you a bit of guidance for, I don't know, if you came across somebody who maybe seemed a bit distressed or a bit worried, something like that, to give you a bit of guidance as to how you could approach them and have a conversation with them.
Right.
So I'll show you here. So the first thing is, when you notice somebody who might be a bit upset or worried, the first thing you do is obviously notice that, and then think about the setting.
Right.
So you might want to move somewhere a bit private or sit down, something like that. Then you move on to the A. This is where you just ask them, what are they concerned about or what are they worried about. Then you move on to the G. And that's the sort of gathering all the concerns. So you don't just find out the first thing. You want to get in there and find out all the concerns that they've got.
Right.
And once you've got all that, you then move on to the E. So a bit of empathy in there at the end. If they've told you a lot, just recognise that. Then the T, this is where you find out about the support people might have. Who do they have to talk to?
Okay.
And the H is part of that. You're thinking about how these people help them. So for me, I've got a lot of friends and family that I think of that support me and who I talk to when things are difficult. So I suppose it's just thinking about the support people have around them, really. Then the Y is then when you ask them what they think would help. And then you move on to the M, and that's where you find out if there's anything they'd like you to do. So just ask, is there something you'd like me to do? And see if they've got any ideas of what you could do. And then the E is when you just summarise the conversation and close it, and just say something like, would you mind if we leave it there? And that takes you out of the conversation as well.
I mean, it seems a lot to remember. How do you remember it all?
Well, I suppose initially it is, but you get one of these little cards as well, so that's got the mnemonic down the side there. And I carried this around with me to start with, but once you start using it, you just remember it. It's so easy to just remember Sage and Time, and I never look at this anymore, to be honest.
I mean, is it difficult to use?
It's not difficult to use the model. There are elements of it that can be difficult. The thing for me, I find the G quite difficult, or I did to start with, because it's staying in that G till you find out all the concerns, not jumping ahead and not trying to fix things. It's about just staying there till they've told you everything. So initially I found that quite difficult, but now it just seems easy, really.
And do you get to give advice?
Yeah, you can. I suppose that the point of it is that you can give advice, but you hold off doing that to start with. So right down here at the M, once you've found out from them if there's anything that they'd like you to do, that's when you might offer some advice or information. But if you see, that's right down towards the bottom, so the big thing is holding off on doing that until you've got their ideas first. And then, if you've got some suggestions, that's when you would make them.
Right. So what, you think it's good you've used it?
Yeah, I found it really useful, to be honest. I know at the start, when you do the workshop, it might seem a little bit repetitive, or it might seem like a really strict structure to follow, but I think once you get into practice and you just put it into your own words, you put it into your own words and conversations, and it's actually really easy. And it really doesn't take much time to go through it. People think it's going to take ages, but it doesn't. And I think it's really useful.